mississippi.gov/actnow.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and honestly, you cannot get a better weekend than what we've had here in North Mississippi the past couple of days. I mean, cooler temperatures, it's been much drier air, and that mugginess, I mean, barely anything here in North Mississippi. So that's one of the things we'll be tracking, is just how long that cooler air sticks around for. Temperatures, they continue to impress heading overnight and into our Monday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, how is that long-term temperature outlook looking? Well, we'll be tracking that for you guys and the WASP here on our North Mississippi Storm Chaser camera. What we'll also be tracking are slim chances of rain this week, but yes, the chances are there. And also, all eyes on the Atlantic as it starts to get a bit more interesting with a few tropical systems we will definitely be tracking. So plenty to talk about here tonight at 6. Let's go ahead and jump into that here in the Room to Room Weather Center. Let's first start with a look outside, and what we're seeing are those below average temperatures all across the region. 88 there towards Caledonia. Feels like 91. Even the WASP are out enjoying it, so that's every reason for you to get out and enjoy it as well. Now, I chose Caledonia because we are looking directly east-southeast right now, because that's where the activity remains. It's further out towards our east there in northwest Alabama. That's the furthest it's gotten whenever it talks to relative to North Mississippi. So the fact that we're trying to pinpoint something that far away shows you how good of a forecast that is. And it looks like our data is not coming in there towards Smithville, but what we are getting is a good look out there towards the east. And you can see some of those towering clouds associated with a few of those isolated pop-up showers and thunderstorms. But again, the fact we're trying to pinpoint something this far east is a good sign with our forecast moving forward, and something we will definitely take. Let's jump a little bit more west there towards Batesville, and oh my word, that is a blue sky. 86 degrees, and the fact that you have this much sunshine and that feels like value is the exact same as the actual temperature shows you that mugginess is not playing a part in our forecast. And the reason why, those winds coming out of the northwest about 5 to 7 miles an hour, that's playing a much drier part in our forecast and keeping even the clouds out of the sky. So if you have not gone outside this weekend, well, A, you've missed out, but B, there is still some time. So let's get out there and enjoy it while we're still in that weekend time frame. Yes, kids, homework shouldn't be happening just yet. So as long as we can put that homework down for just a second and enjoy these conditions, then I think that's all the homework we need to be doing. Looking out there towards northwest Alabama, there's a few storms that are popping up that, have a few lightning strikes associated with it, but not anything nearly as significant as what we saw yesterday in central Alabama. Here you see basically this little bit of a boundary forming right there towards Florence, Russellville, and Haleyville. Now this is going to produce some of those isolated pop-up showers and thunderstorms. That one up around Florence is going to be the most significant. So tracking that moving south and east, you can kind of see the direct track that's taking, going to remain further. Oh, should I say, that is not moving that fast. We're going to take about 15 miles an hour. Town Creek, 616, Luzier, I think I'm saying that right, 648, and then heading further, should stay east of Franklin County, but keeping eyes on that into the rest of our evening. But I mean, you can see where it's raining just outside of North Mississippi, and getting that look on our rainfall totals as well. Whenever we talk about some of those outputs, it's not anything too crazy, but definitely some significant moisture over towards Florence, about 1/2 of an inch. Highway 6 there towards Coleman, about 1/10 of an inch. And even as far south as Tuscaloosa County, getting a 1/2 inch as well. Here in Mississippi, I'm just going to click a bunch, and you can see 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, meaning that we haven't had any rainfall here this weekend. So all the more reason to get outside and enjoy it, because rarely this time of year are we staying void of any of those afternoon pop-up showers. And honestly, with these cooler temperatures, I mean, it's just such a rare thing. So the next 12, those 10% chances are going to be for our far northwest Alabama counties. The rest of us here in North Mississippi expect those dry conditions to persist by the early hours of our Monday. Starting out that work week strong for all you teachers out there, getting that early start to the day, should be in the upper 60s yet again. So it should be a great morning. Let's go ahead and grab that cup of coffee before we get to school, because first full week of school here in North Mississippi for a lot of our teachers, definitely going to be a week we need to start on the right foot. So reason why all of this is happening. We've seen this frontal boundary over the past couple of days. That's been circulating up a lot of the moisture. I mean, you can see where the best showers and thunderstorms are, the most likely chances are to see some of that rainfall, primarily towards the Gulf regions. But also what you get with that low pressure center that's right along that frontal boundary is that wraparound of moisture. One of the things we've been talking about for the past several days is just how far that moisture gets. And so far, there's your threshold right there, not surpassing that line. So everywhere here in North Mississippi has stayed on the drier side because of those winds kind of wrapping around from the northwest now as those kind of move in just a little bit more. So there's your circulation that we're getting here in North Mississippi. And as long as those winds continue from that direction, we'll see those dry conditions in the forecast. But that frontal boundary, it is going to linger for a long while, and we'll see that right here on our Futurecast. It's just basically those pop-up showers along that frontal boundary as we get into the 9-10 o'clock hour this evening. But watch how little this front moves towards tomorrow morning. I mean, we're talking about couple miles at most, if any. And so those rain chances primarily stick around those Gulf Coast regions. But as that low transitions a little bit more west, that's going to be driving our forecast towards tomorrow morning. You can see already by 9 a.m. a lot more cloud cover here in North Mississippi, as well as some of those rain chances. Rain chances are as far north as Birmingham, but that cloud cover, I mean, we're talking about all the way to I-55. As we keep it going through those early morning hours, going to see those rain chances start to become a little bit more impressive, not just for Monday, but really towards our Tuesday and Wednesday as well. So next 24, we are seeing mostly dry conditions. As you can see, by the afternoon and evening, 10 to 20% chances do start to pick up in the forecast. Cloud cover going to be the primary difference, with a little bit more cloud cover up in the sky. Still staying on the mostly dry side, but those afternoon showers definitely a bit more possible. But one of the things we'll be tracking here in the next 60 is the long track forecast. When do those rain chances really start to pick up? When do the temperatures start to heat up again? We know it is still summer here in North Mississippi, so those temperatures do get warmer at some point. We'll be walking through all of that in much more detail here in the next minute. And in the extended forecast, we're going to be taking the latest look at the tropics and what to expect with those. So keep it here at Mississippi Live Weather at 6. We'll see you back here in the next minute.
At Absolute Restoration, our team will feel magical, since our focus is on serving you and your roofing needs. Finding a roofer who actually shows up and communicates, that's just one of the problems we solve by informing you of every step in the process.
Selling premium roofing systems backed by warranties and payment plans starting at just $99 per month. Trust Absolute Restoration to deliver.
Experience unicorn-level service and affordability from a team your community trusts. Call Absolute Restoration today.
Your family deserves the most beautiful smile possible. At Tupelo Smiles, we use precision dentistry and advanced technology to make visiting the dentist an amazing experience. Relationship-based comprehensive care. Come discover the difference at Tupelo Smiles.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Welcome back into Mississippi Live Weather at 6. It has been a phenomenal weekend all the way around. Again, a great time to just get outside. Gabriella in Tremont did exactly that. You can see just out in the backyard. Hey, you don't have to go very far to enjoy these conditions. Blue skies with a few of those puffy white cumulus clouds, those cotton ball-like structures. Those don't really do too much damage whenever it comes to how much sunshine we'll see, and really aren't going to be producing anything rainfall-wise. That's why we've been seeing such a much drier forecast. There we go. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied just getting excited about this forecast. But a big thank you to our weather watchers out in the field showing us what's going on. Guys, I'll be honest, I haven't seen too many sunsets the past couple of days. I want to see some tonight. So go ahead and snap a picture. Get out to the local park. If you're here in Tupelo, go to Ballard or Veterans Park to just soak in these conditions while they're here. Also the first weekend of the school year, so all the more reason to get outside and enjoy that forecast. Mississippi Live Weather Radar right now showing those quiet conditions, so not anything to note on radar. That's why I say any local park. If you want to head to McKee Park over there in Starkville, if you want to head over there towards the Railroad Park, towards Amory or Ballard Park here in Tupelo, I mean, there's plenty of options that we can enjoy. So just get out there and enjoy it, and because this is rare that we get these types of conditions for this long of a period of time. Even our satellite imagery, you don't see anything in regards to any cloud cover. All of that primarily sticking there towards Alabama and really central Alabama getting the most coverage. So clear skies, not just drier air that we can enjoy here in North Mississippi, and really setting the scene, I mean, temperature-wise. Whenever we talk about the temperatures, it's been a much calmer forecast, and a large reason of that is because those winds are wrapping around from the north. The north has that drier, cooler air. So if we get any winds out of the north, we usually enjoy a much calmer, a much less humid forecast. So that's why it's in place. and it's not ending anytime soon. That low that is to our south right now really doesn't move too much from that general area. Yes, tomorrow it'll circulate in a bit more of that moisture, but still not overly confident on those rain chances. It'll just be a 10 to 20% coverage towards tomorrow afternoon. Still a little bit of that northern wind extending into parts of the Mississippi Delta. So we're still enjoying that drier air and those cooler temperatures despite getting a little bit higher on those rain chances. So we'll take it as long as it sticks around. Here's a look at temperatures this evening. Again, I say we need to get outside and enjoy it because upper 80s across North Mississippi with a few folks, Iuka, coming in with 81. We are already close to the upper 70s and it's not even sunset just yet. So an enjoyable forecast all across North Mississippi. Gonna emphasize that over and over again because again, it's so rare to see that this time of year. 7 p.m. 83, 10 p.m. 75, and then we're back into the low 70s towards tomorrow morning. See cloud cover going to be intermittent through the evening, but not seeing anything in regards to significant moisture with any rain chances. So we are staying calm, clear, and dry overnight. So however late you want to stay up on a Sunday night, I know we have work, I know we have school tomorrow, but if you want to stay up late, you'll have great conditions for it. Looking at that futurecast, you can still see those winds blowing straight in from the north, and then we have this interaction of winds that are moving more easterly there towards northwest Alabama. So you have this convergence. I'm going to try and multitask here. There you go. So that line that basically goes from north to south, that's those northerly winds, and then that east-west wind, we're meeting right at the Alabama state line for a lot of those rain chances for as far west as we're going to get. But then those winds start to shift a little bit more. You see those northerly winds primarily going to be towards the Delta by 10 p.m. and a little bit more of that moisture trying to wrap around. Now, are we getting all the way to Itawamba and Tishomingo County? It's a bit of a stretch. We are primarily expecting those rain chances to be towards northwest Alabama, and that's as far west as it's going to go. Some of that moisture does try to get there, and that's one of the things we'll be tracking tonight at 10 is just the latest model runs on that. Go ahead and be on the safe side, have that rain gear in the back seat just in case towards Itawamba and Tishomingo County. But northwest Alabama, that's our primary area that we are watching for those rain chances. Towards tomorrow afternoon, those winds, they start to shift. And that's a result of that low slowly but surely moving a bit more west. So wrapping around a bit more of that moisture there towards North Mississippi. That's why we have that increase in cloud cover. So not expecting rain chances for that morning commute, teachers, but we are expecting maybe a little bit more cloud cover than what we're seeing right now. I mean, Batesville was completely blue all across the sky. But here's a look at low temperatures. You notice where that cloud cover moves in, that's going to keep temperatures upper 60s, low 70s, and everywhere out in the Delta going to be mid 60s because that northern air, that northern wind still circulating into that area especially. So keeping the cooler, drier, clearer forecast in store. As we go throughout the morning, still, just a battle of the winds here as we head into our mid-morning, late morning. And as we see by 10 a.m., those northern winds primarily sticking along the Tennessee River, Mississippi River. There we go. Where do we live, Gabe? And then you see that easterly wind pushing a bit more towards I-55. Those winds just continue to interact with each other. So as far as those easterly winds goes, as far as that moisture goes as well. Noontime, still dry, but a bit more with that cloud cover. And again, that continues into the 3 o'clock hour with a few of those isolated pop-up showers popping up once again. That's the typical summer pattern that we're used to this time of year. So down around Itala County, watching for a few chances for you. Choctaw, Winston, paying attention to that general area closer to 2, 3 o'clock. Those chances start to spread a little bit more north, basically going up I-55 by 6. And as we head further into the night, those chances do linger just a bit. So temperature-wise tomorrow, still, it's going to be a phenomenal forecast with low 80s far northeast Mississippi. And as you head further towards the south and west, upper 80s, and then west of 55, we're talking low 90s. So it's going to be a forecast that depends on where you're at, but all around going to be below average this time of year. I do want to say, I saw some people in chat saying that we have a higher likelihood of seeing rain for our forecast tomorrow. Well, I know we're seeing 20% coverage, but understand 20% is very little. So we're not really going into the day expecting for us to see rainfall. Could we get a brief pop-up shower? Yes, but the positioning of that is something that's very dependent on how much rainfall we'll see. So still plan on watering the gardens just in case, but we definitely could be blessed with that pop-up shower happening in your area. It's just not very likely. 20% is not significant coverage on that extended forecast. Heat indices, that's one thing that is a blessing, and that's going to be just that cooler, drier air yet again. So those mugginess, that mugginess that's usually in the Mississippi air, fortunately not playing too much of a part in our Monday forecast. Monday evening, pop-up showers still try to linger, but overall it's going to be a drier pattern overnight. We know post-sunset, those chances really start to dissolve on out. One of the things I do want to say is we do have a few of those isolated showers, just very brief in nature, that try to pop up through the evening, but they'll be so brief and so non-impactful, it's really not going to wake any of us up from our sleep. So Tuesday morning, starting off on the drier side, and that's how it'll be for the bulk of the day. But then we get towards the afternoon, and this is your usual pattern where it's just real spotty in nature, where you turn the windshield wipers on for 1 minute and then turn it off for 5. and you'll basically be doing that through your entire commute. That's what we're seeing there towards Sardis, Olive Branch, and Memphis towards noon on our Tuesday. Those chances become a little bit more widespread as the day goes on. So those pop-up showers, I mean, these are going to be very isolated in nature. So 3 p.m., 4, 5, 6, that's what we're tracking heading into our Tuesday afternoon and evening. So keep that rain gear around. But again, it's not going to be everybody that gets this rainfall. It's really going to be dependent on who's blessed to get those rain chances. So if you want to say a few extra prayers, hey, that might do the job. 10 p.m., a little bit of that moisture does try to linger, and by the time we get towards our Wednesday morning, staying on the drier side yet again, but by the time we get towards Wednesday and Thursday, that's where our rain chances start to climb just a bit. High temperatures, upper 80s still across the area with low 90s out there towards Greenwood, Grenada, Cleveland, and Greenville. So still below average. We should be around 93 this time of year. So the fact we're still seeing 82 Red Bay and Iuka will definitely take as many days of that as we can get here in North Mississippi. Feels like values right around that same margin. So whenever those temperatures and feels like values equal the same thing, well, that basically means mugginess not playing a part in our forecast. So yes, moisture is returning, but not the muggy air that we're typically used to. So looking at those high temperatures, we're talking 86 for Monday, gradually on the climb, but we are not reaching our monthly averages until we get towards Sunday, reaching 93 degrees by the afternoon. So we have a large stretch where it's going to be below average, but a fantastic forecast nonetheless. And heat indices, we're not going to be reaching into the triple digits until next Sunday as well. So heat, yes, it is returning, but it's going to be a little bit before we get there. So afternoon activities, we need to be getting outside and taking advantage of this weather while it's here, of this cooler, drier air. I do say that with a grain of salt because have that Mississippi Live Weather app handy just in case those showers are popping up close to you. We'll let you know where there's lightning. We'll let you know when there's heavy rainfall close to your location. And we'll also kind of time it out for you of when those chances are moving in. So those isolated chances, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all week long. I can list every single day over the next 7. But Tuesday and Wednesday, that's going to be our highest rainfall outputs just because it's about still just 30% coverage. So we're not overly confident on that, but definitely keeping eyes on that in the extended forecast. I do want to say, coming up next in the next 60, we're looking more at the tropics, and that's where all eyes are as of this moment because things are starting to pick up in intensity just a bit with a few storms. Will that impact our forecast? Not expecting it to, but still keeping eyes on that as we head over the next few days. Also, our chief meteorologist, Matt Laupon, he joins us having a good time out there in Fayette, Alabama. We'll see what he's doing coming up here in the next minute, so keep it with Mississippi Live Weather for the very latest.
Here is your opportunity to add 2 beautiful guns to your collection and support scouting. Scan the QR code to purchase your chance to win a Browning Citori 725 Sporting Maple over and under 12 gauge shotgun or a 75th anniversary Boy Scout commemorative Winchester Model 9422 rifle. Support the Natchez Trace Council Scouts with your raffle entries today.
As a nurse, I've seen a lot of people with sleep deprivation. It affects their job, their home life. At Room to Room, we want to take the guesswork out of buying a mattress, and that's why we brought in this technology. It shows you what you need. We want to do the assessment and find exactly what's perfect for you.
Ignore the fact that he's going to come down the slide and try to keep his hair dry. The Laupon family has come out here to the Fayette Aquatic Center to try to wrap up summer. It's actually their last day this summer that they're going to be open to the public. It's kind of a tradition for us here every year to try to come on by and beat the heat. Maybe not quite as packed as it was yesterday. Talking to some of the folks here, they actually had about 1,000 people out here yesterday. The number's a little more manageable today, but certainly has been a lot of fun and a great way to beat the heat. If you haven't checked it out before, certainly a place to do that. An enjoyable experience for us. You know, we have a couple of other parks here near the Alabama state line, such as up in Red Bay as well. But anyway, kind of a fun way in which we try to, I guess as a tradition, beat the heat each summer, and kind of sad that we're past another season of that. But of course, kids going back to school, so I guess we should expect that. From the Fayette Aquatic Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Laupon from Mississippi Live Weather.
I think we're going to try and get that kid with the goggles that was behind Matt on the show later, so make sure to stay tuned. No, he was definitely a special guest in that little preview. But Matt, thank you so much for submitting that video, letting us know those conditions in Fayette, Alabama. I do want to say I saw some of those dark gray clouds behind you, so a little bit of a different forecast, even heading a few counties out there towards the east. So hopefully no rainfall, and as of right now, I think you have a good forecast for the rest of your afternoon. But yeah, that's the thing. Summer's wrapping up, and we're heading into the school year. I do want to say that we are also heading into the peak peak of hurricane season here in the Atlantic. What we're seeing right now in our tropical developments across the Atlantic Ocean right now, we see basically every color from low, medium, all the way to high. So let's go ahead and break down each of those chances. First, starting with our lowest chance. This has a 20% chance of development over the next 7 days. This was the most recent addition happening overnight and into this morning. So not expecting anything too major from this, especially as a lot of that fuel being fueled by that system just to the northeast. Our next system, this is one that we're paying attention to because it is heading in that western direction, still has a long way to go before development, but 40% over the next 7 shows that it's entering an environment that's a little bit more conducive to produce some of those tropical systems. That's up from about, I believe it was 30% yesterday evening. So we're climbing those chances just a bit over that extended forecast, and that path could be a little bit more interesting in regards to impacts here in Mississippi. We're still a long way from that, but some models do try to get it at least too close for comfort, let's just say that. But we'll be paying attention to that in more detail heading into this week, so we'll keep you updated here at Mississippi Live Weather. But this is the one we are paying attention to because you see the highest percentage of forming into a tropical system, a named storm especially, 70% chance over the next 2 days, 70% over the next 7. This is the one I was telling you yesterday had some model outputs up to tropical storm and even category 1 hurricane as that moves north and east. But the thing is, this path, I mean, this is as ideal of a path as you can get because it's moving away from the United States, away from those coastal regions there in the Atlantic. So fortunately not going to be a high impact event. As we walk through some of our spaghetti plots, which basically is multiple different models walking through the possible tracks, you can see the path of consensus is northeast up into the Atlantic coast and the North Atlantic. So far away from us here in the United States, unfortunately, it should not be anything too major. Extending that out even past Thursday morning and into your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can see no returns. I know there's that one anomaly, but the fact that it's an anomaly means that we pay very little attention to it. We really see that path heading where the consensus is going, and that's northeast. So not impacting us, and really none of these systems are going to be impacting us over the next 48, 72 hours, and we don't really expect it really over the next 7 days here in North Mississippi. This is a look at what we're going to be expecting, and that's those drier conditions still in place, cooler conditions still in place. So this is still as ideal of a forecast as you can get with very little rainfall, much cooler temperatures, exactly what we've been able to enjoy this week, and that does continue into this week as well. I will say, have that rain gear ready for a few isolated showers, but overall, we're not seeing anything overly impactful. We could see some brief heavy downpours, but that's just expected with a few of these pop-up summer storms. We'll be back here tonight on Mississippi Live Weather at 10, walking through the latest on those rain chances and some of those rainfall outputs, see if we're getting anything increased in regards to those chances. So we'll walk through the very latest details on that. I do want to say before we go, submit your pictures tonight. We love seeing what you guys are seeing, even if it's just a puffy white cumulus cloud in the sky. Just being able to see that and visualize what you guys see out in the field all across North Mississippi, from Batesville to Macon, or all the way to Greenville, or all the way north to South Haven, or Corinth. Hey, let's walk all the way northeast. We want to see that and experience that with you guys. So please submit those pictures. Sunsets tonight should be absolutely beautiful. So make sure to submit those. You can go to the Mississippi Live Weather app. It's a tab on the top left corner. You click that, you scroll down about 4 bars, I believe, and it says submit your pictures, put your name, and then it put the time and put what we're seeing, and we'll be able to share that tonight at 10. We thank you guys so much for keeping it here for the very latest and trusting us with all of your weather needs. We'll be back here tonight at 10, walking you through that latest forecast. We'll see you back here then.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.